I'm about to say. Did it cut off his head? Hi everyone, I'm going to react it to That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Episode 3, Battle at the Goblin Village. And Jujutsu Kaisen is not coming out with a new episode this week, so I'm going to be reacting to this episode of That Time. And last episode, what's his name? They gave each other names. The dragon and Satoru. Now Satoru's being called Rimuru Tempest and Veldora Tempest. And then he got out of the cave after having killed and absorbed a whole bunch of information and everything. And then there were these goblins that found him and they wanted him to help them defeat these, I forgot what they were called, that were basically terrorizing the village and killing their people. So he accepted, but then he played it off like he asked for, okay, what would they do in exchange for his help? And he was just doing that to play the role or whatever. And they said that they will have his loyalty or something or other like that forever. And yeah, so that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and please consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/feelthemini. And now let's start this episode, and here we go. I love this episode. It was really cute. You know, when they he decided to defend the Goblin village against the dire wolves, right? And he basically told them what they needed to do, make this build this fence around the village. And then you see the dire wolves, the leader of the pack, talking to them that they're gonna crush the goblins and everything. And then they go there, they see the fence, they're like, oh, this little fence is not gonna do anything. And then they just launched an attack, right? And then they were getting cut up by this thread that was there, which was a skill that Rimuru acquired, right? And then the leader is like, that's not gonna stop me. And then he went after it, started like knowing or destroying those threads, and then he got stuck by sticky threads, and then the guy's just like water slice and just like cut off the head. And I'm like, okay. And then he told them to surrender and whatnot, but then they weren't actually reacting to what he was saying, right? So he's like, oh, okay, let me absorb the leader. He absorbed the direwolf, and then he got the mimic, right, ability, and menace, and the thought communication thingy. So he transformed into the direwolf, told them to leave or die or something, and then used menace on them. And then you see him menacing them or whatever, but then the son started going forward, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this guy's not gonna accept defeat. And the others also were following him, and then they were like, we give up or we submit. I'm like, that was easy. That whole battle was easy, man. I knew it was gonna be easy because Rimuru has all these abilities, so it's like, you know. Oh, and even before that battle happened, he was like, take me to your wounded and whatnot. They took him there, and then he just, when he like absorbed them or whatever, and then spit them back out, and then they were all healed. I'm like, how the heck did that happen? I completely forgot about the herbs or whatever that he was absorbing, like at the very beginning. I think maybe was it the first episode or the second episode? Either way, probably the first. Yeah, it must have been the first, where they told him how these things were gonna be, made into potions or whatnot. So he ate a whole bunch. So he had a whole bunch of potions stuck up inside of himself. So he basically used those potions to heal the goblins and whatnot. And then the fight happened, and now they were all the die was submitted to him, right? And then they were all in the village, and then he's like, okay, now what am I gonna do? And then he decided to name them, and everybody got so excited. I'm like, there must be something behind this naming thing, because they were being way too excited about this. And they were like all in a line. Or at first he told them that they were gonna pair up, I think. Yeah. They were gonna pair up Goblin or whatever. And then now they were in line, and then he started giving them names. It came that he gave them names. There was this yellowish thing that enveloped them, and they were so happy. And I'm like, what's gonna happen? What's going on with the naming? And at one point, the elder was like, Master, do you really want to continue, naming all of us? It's gonna be too much for you. He's like, no, I'm okay. At that point, he didn't actually understand what the heck he was doing, how this was gonna affect him. So he was naming them and naming them and naming them, and then he came to the dire wolves, and the son is the one that first stepped up, and then he named them Rangan, which I think it was a combination of tempest and storm or something along those lines. So he named them, and then he just like passed out. And then that's why they told us that when you name someone, you are using magicals, So he was depleting his magicals as he was naming all of them. And then he slept for 3 days. He woke back up, and then there was this girl that was there. Oh, I'm so glad you up and everything. He's like, who is that? And then the girl's like, okay, I'm gonna go get Rigord. He went out there, bro. Rigord is now this young, buff adult, whatever. He was completely different from the old Rigord with a cane. He's like, what the heck happened while I was sleeping? And then he said that they told him that when you name a monster, that it basically levels them up, So everybody got leveled up. There was the one particular one that did not level up at all. He basically looked the same. And then that wolf also came up, and then he's like, he also evolved, into this. Is there a name for his? I know they said that the male goblins evolved into hobgoblins, and then the females into goblinas. I don't quite remember if there was a name for the direwolves evolving, but either way, now he was like, I think he had a meeting, I don't know, something with the direwolves, and then he's like, okay, what happened? Why is it like you're the only one that I named, but everybody else also evolved with you? And then he's like, they were connected, and having been given a name or something or other like that it basically, like, all of them were basically sharing that name, sort of, and now they were called the Tempest Wolves. I think that's what they're calling themselves now, the Tempest Wolves. So, and then each time Rangan will be like sweeping his tail, they will create this giant whirlwind or whatever that will just like remove. That was funny. So okay, now there's that, and then he assembled everybody. He's like, okay, now there are 3 rules that you guys need to follow. The first one, don't hurt humans. I think there was don't hurt humans, no infighting among you guys, and don't belittle any other species. And I'm like, oh. And then the was like, okay, master, why do you want us not to hurt humans? And then he's because I like humans. And it's like, oh, okay, I get it. That was cute. But then he went further into it, and he's like, humans live and pack and whatever. And if you provoke them and they come at you, in a lot of them come at you. There's no guarantee that they're gonna be able to survive that. Oh, okay. And then they're like, okay, why not belittle? Why the not belittling other species? It's like, you guys know where you came from. Basically, you guys know where you came from. You guys were weak, and I made you strong. And so don't, just because you now evolved, don't let it go to your head, and don't treat other people that are beneath you, that you think are beneath you, badly, or they also might, rise up and evolve, and then it's gonna be a whole lot of problems. So they're like, oh yeah, okay, we get it. I just love the harmony between these wolves and the goblins, considering that not that long ago they were like, the wolves were just destroying them, And then now he gave them all jobs. They were the ones that were on lookouts, the ones that go look for food, and then they were also trying to make clothes and houses, I guess. But those two things were not working out. And he asked, like, okay, I think it was Rigurd that said that they didn't have those skills. And then he asked, okay, who got those skills? And then he mentioned the dwarves, and that they lives in Dwarfgun or something or other like that. And he got so excited. He's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna go and talk with the dwarves and get them to, make clothes and all those things for us. So he's going with Rangan. Excuse me. I think it was 4, basically 8 of them, like 4 wolves and 3 dwarves. Like each dwarf was on a wolf, and he was on Rangan, And I love the fact that he's like, he gave Rangan his family name, meaning him and Tempest, and he meant Veldora, and now Rangan basically have like the same name, like their family. I like that. I feel like he's gonna be adding people to his family name basically as time goes on, And I also wonder if the Rangan is gonna evolve at some point to another stage, I don't know. Like, I love this episode. Loved it. Thank you guys for watching. And if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. And if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, am I even going to be reacting to the next episode? I don't know. I'm just like all over the place. I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen, okay? And Jujutsu Kaisen is like out for a couple of weeks. Last week they didn't do any new episode. This week I feel like they're not going to do a new episode either. I don't know about next week. So if next week there's no new episode, then I'm going to be reacting to another episode of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. But if there's a new episode, then I'm going to go back to Jujutsu Kaisen. So yeah, I'm all over the place. And if you want to see whatever's coming next, you can check that out on my Patreon at patreon.com/feelme, and you can also see the full length for this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Talking then. I got no respect cause I'm the new man. Got my shovel just full of sand. Check out the time the name's Caveman.